What's up everyone, Savage Gamer here, and this is my honest review for Vertigo 2. This code was provided to me by my busting my ass at work, coming in at a price of $29.99. So was it worth an hour and a half of my sweat equity? That's what we're here to find out. Let's do this. In this review of Vertigo 2 for the PlayStation VR 2, we've got the good, the bad, and the ugly to report on. Is this the right game for you? Well, we're gonna find out. But before we do, I'll be honest with you guys, I need more subscribers. It's nearly fucking impossible to get review codes with under 1,000 subs. And this shit is fucking expensive, as well as time consuming. So if you do appreciate non-woke, honest gaming content, hit that fucking subscribe button for me and leave a like on the video.
Oh, these are some of Brian's long-term experiments. Brian's been studying the alien life forms that are pulled here by the reactor. Luckily, we already know a lot about your universe, and we know you're just about genetically identical to the humans here. Otherwise, you'd be in one of those freezers.
Okay, so the highly anticipated Vertigo 2 is finally released digitally, with the physical edition coming in February.
Oh, what's that piece of junk doing here? Ridiculous. We wouldn't possibly have you fight deadly aliens in a high-tech facility using a crowbar. That would be absurd.
Now, I'll be straightforward. I have no fucking idea what the fuck is going on with this game, as I never played the first title. They do offer up a little information as to what happened in the first title, but I really don't think that it matters all that much, as its wacky approach isn't really demanding of lore or the concept of understanding its previous titles. And right away, you can tell what type of game you're about to embark in. Now, I have heard that it has similarities and has been compared to Rick and Morty, but I personally do not see that here. If I do, it's ever so slightly. I would say for the comparison factor, it more resembles Bone Lab VR meets virtual reality than anything else. The comedy isn't nearly as raunchy as Rick and Morty, or any other squanch game out there for that matter, but it is on par with virtual reality sense of humor, as well as the overall aesthetics, and the gunplay feels nearly identical to Bone Lab VR's to me, but that's just my opinion. Take it or leave it, and feel free to form your own from your own experience with this game. Now, let's talk visuals. The multitude of alien designs are all done fairly well, with original concepts I really dig. Like the guys with a hand for a face, and that floating eyeball of death, for example. As far as level design goes, there's nothing really standoutish to me. While everything here does suit the gameplay and is functional, nothing really caught me off guard with that holy shit moment, something like most any of the levels in, say, Red Matter 2, or even Hubris managed to do, for example. That awe factor of extraordinarily impressive level design just wasn't here. Not that any of the levels were terrible, that's not the case at all. Just nothing jaw-dropping or providing a dopamine rush to your pupils, and that could be due to the flat lighting here. Now, there is a level of polish, but some lighting effects and surface reflection would have helped go a long way here. Again, I'd say the level design and quality is almost on par with Bone Lab's level design as far as the visual representation and even structural layout on occasion goes.
Full health restored.
Now, I do like that there are some alternative paths that you can take and maybe discover some secrets or collectibles by straying off the beaten path. Now, there are some pretty noticeable performance issues at play here, such as anti-aliasing, pop-in, and frame rate drops, as if foveated rendering just wasn't really applied perhaps, as well as some immersion breaking traversal in vehicles, as you remain stationary while whatever vehicle you are in is moving around, causing you to constantly readjust your position. Everything I mentioned so far could be remedied with a patch, so hopefully that's in the works and will be available soon. Now, let's get into the gameplay of Vertigo 2. For the most part, this is a first-person shooter with some minor puzzle solving and even platforming thrown in. And I feel my biggest issue with Vertigo 2 is, unfortunately, the shooting. It's just not connecting right. The guns feel a bit fumbly, especially the two-handed weapons. The aiming feels off by just a small fraction of a degree, and the biggest sin here is that there isn't any haptic inclusion, meaning it feels very flat when firing a weapon due to most games really managing to nail this massive benefit of playing on the PSVR2. However, the abundance of blood, gore, and chunks of exploded enemy remains are pretty fucking great, somewhat balancing out the satisfaction factor of not having to feel an immersive feedback of haptic triggers. Up next is sound design. This too is a mixed bag. The OST is subtle, but helps with defining the mood of each level or moment you encounter. But there is a noticeable lack of ambience. No waters dripping, no noises coming from the next room over, at least not that I can recall, and no echoing effects from gun rounds being shot or explosions going off. Now, the voice acting is also a bit hit or miss at times. It sounds convincing, and other times it sounds like maybe it's your buddy reading you lines from his high school play script within his basement.
Full health restored.
So, what's my overall assessment on Vertigo 2? Well, I think it's a pretty fun title. It's a decent escape into VR to see and kill strange things, maybe have a laugh or two with. I don't think that it's the biggest or baddest new kid on the block, as many people are hyping it up to be, but I do think it's fun and offers some really unique character creations with some fun shooting that could be greatly improved if haptic triggers and sound design were refined, as well as the aiming honed in a bit more. You guys know how it goes here, though. I have to review and rate the game for what it is in the state that it's presented in. And unlike many others reviewing it, I paid for my copy and am not beholden to please developers or publishers with a favorable score, which I think I've noticed a few people doing. Nope, we keep shit real around here, even if a review code was provided, which I assure you one was not. So, with all that said, I'm giving Vertigo 2 a 7 out of 10. See, it's a fun game with neat creations to see, and if not for the gore, I'd be at a 6 out of 10. If all the aforementioned issues were addressed, I'd probably be at an 8.5 out of 10. So, is it worth 30 US? I mean, if the issues were patched, absolutely. As it sits right now, I'd say wait for a sale, around 20 bucks, unless you have the cash to burn and just really want to play Vertigo 2 regardless of its issues or before any patches are provided.
Warning, low health.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for this review. I do hope that you enjoyed it and considered subscribing today if you haven't yet already. But let me know what you think in the comments. Did you buy it already? Are you enjoying it? Are you disappointed at all? Are you holding off just for now until the issues get worked out? Does it even interest you or not? I'd honestly love to hear your thoughts on it. But until next time, have fun, stay savage, and keep gaming. I am out, y'all. Peace.